Falcon Lane, Inverness, Florida 34452.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Doing well.
Hello, fine, thank you.
Hey Jim.
Hello, how you doing?
Good.
Good.
Filling in for Lori today.
I see that.
Mhm.
I see that. All right, looks like we're getting a few more members showing up.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Hey
Hello.
Laura.
Just want to let you know, I will probably be leaving the meeting as soon as we address all of our problem areas. And
Okay.
right now, as far as I know, Citrus doesn't have any to add, at least not any that I have vetted. Just so we're there.
Okay.
Great. Good news. It is now 1:30. Should we get started?
Sounds good to me.
All the names. All right. Let's have a welcome and introduction. Welcome, everybody. It's been quite a while since we've been able to meet. Hope everybody did well in the storm situations and so forth, and not got overworked or flooded. Welcome to the meeting. And let's go ahead and introduce each other. I'm Jim McLean, citizen Citrus County. Melissa, you want to call a roll call?
Sure.
Thank
So hey
you.
everybody, I'm Melissa Shepard with JMT, one of the District 7 safety primes. Bob Esposito.
Hi, Bob Esposito with the Hernando Citrus MPO.
Thank you. Brenton Mosier.
Brenton Mosier with USF Cutter.
Thank you. Anthony Chamont.
Anthony Chamont with JMT.
Thank you. And Christina.
Good afternoon, Christina Bullman with Lochner.
Thank you. Eric Henry.
Hey y'all, Eric Henry with FDOT District 7 Safety.
Thank you. Emmett Duran.
Hello, this is MF.
All right. Matt Weaver.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Matt Weaver, Element Engineering Group.
Sergeant Andrews.
Hey everybody, Sergeant Andrews, Hernando County Sheriff's Office.
And Sergeant Laura Anstead.
Good afternoon, everyone. Sergeant Anstead, Citrus County Sheriff's Office Traffic Unit.
All right. And then we have Meredith.
Hi, everybody. Meredith Abel, EXP.
Right. And if there's anyone on the line who I did not call your name, can you please introduce yourself?
It's Jim Reiser, District 7 Law Enforcement Liaison.
Thanks, Jim. All right, and then just a couple housekeeping items. This meeting is being recorded, and if you are not speaking, please mute your mics. All right, thanks.
All right, great. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, everybody, for attending today. Let's review and approve our 2024 minutes from August. It's been a couple months. I hope everyone's had an opportunity to review those, and we have a motion to approve them as written.
I will motion to approve.
All right, approved by Laura, seconded by
I'll second Jeff Andrews.
Jeff Andrews, seconded. Thank you both. Appreciate that. All right. Let's get on to the old business. Review of problem sheets. I don't see Ernie on here anywhere today. But let's see, that's Mariner Boulevard. Is there been any updates on Mariner for this week? There's supposed to be a lot of.
Yeah, I know there was a safety study that JMT completed,
Yeah.
which was submitted to us. I was doing some work the last couple days to see if anybody was aware of the status of that, but I don't know, Emeth or Anthony, if you guys are both on, if you have any idea if we've looked into any of the recommendations that were made as a part of that. All I know is that it was completed sometime a few months ago.
I
No.
believe that we were coordinating with traffic operations on some of those recommendations. If not, it's pretty much wrapped up. Let me follow up on that. I know I had somebody assigned to this, so let me see where that's at.
Okay. Thank you, Emmett. All right. Moving on to number 2. This is the Middle School Road and US 41. I think we talked about doing a traffic light up there or some improvements, which I know is possibly involved with the construction of the road. I was up there the other day and watched, it looked like a yellow bus road instead of a yellow brick road. There were so many buses coming out of that intersection. It was crazy. Like 17 or 18 of them. I don't know, Bob, did you get anything, information advancing that project?
Last I heard from FDOT, they're still looking into doing traffic counts there. I mean, it's strictly based on traffic counts. And I did reach out to the PIO this morning. Probably should have reached out to her a week ago, but I don't have any updates at this point. I mean,
okay.
Unfortunately, DOT does strictly everything by traffic counts.
Right.
Yeah, same thing on my side. I haven't heard anything new, just that when they originally did the signal warrants, it wasn't met. But I know they said they were going to look at it again after we brought this up to them. So it might just be a matter of following up to see whether that resulted in anything or not.
Yeah, Chris told me, Carson, that she was going to look into it this morning when I reached out to her.
Oh, good.
So when we talk to them about traffic counts, it's kind of a two-part. They've kind of trained everybody with that school that the buses come out the front entrance. So all of the cars will use the back entrance. So if they're doing traffic counts around that school and they only count the cars on the front entrance that are physically traveling on middle school, they're missing all of the people that are coming in off of Turner Camp because they've kind of trained the parents to divide the traffic because that intersection is so bad. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Fabulous. So I need to kind of take a look at the amount of traffic that's coming in through there from Turner Camp as well.
Yeah, I talked to some people yesterday and they informed me that there was several buses that were late getting to school, probably because of the construction, but rather than a traffic light, but there were several issues going on there yesterday morning.
Eric, did you take that note? Are you going to reach out to somebody on that one?
Yeah, we can check to make sure, because I don't think they gave any details about what they did when they collected counts last time, but I'll confirm to make sure that they know that information. You said the side with, is it Turner Camp Road?
Not the back way, yes.
Yeah, it's the back way. It's it'll either be labeled Ella or Turner Camp, because right where the road splits to go to the back side of the middle school is also where that road divides from being Ella Avenue and turns into Turner Camp Road.
Okay, gotcha. We can at least maybe reach out to them and see where they were when they were collecting counts last time, or where they're planning to be if they go out again, so we can make sure they have that information.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's an exit out of the parking lot at the school that would probably be a good place to put devices to record traffic rather than out all the way out on Turner Camp, because you'll get external traffic there.
It would probably be good to have somebody from FDOT actually speak with some of the folks there, if they haven't already. Would be my thought, Eric.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember when this was brought up. If somebody from the school said they had been in conversation with FDOT already or not. I'm not sure if they made that.
Is there anybody from the school board on this meeting, or anybody can reach out to them? I just hate to duplicate efforts asking DOT to do things that have already been done. Possibly.
I don't think we have anybody with the schools on today, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. So what are you gonna do then, Eric? You gonna deal with somebody up that way?
Yeah, I'll at the very, like I said, I'll at the very least talk to I forget their name again already, that PM, and just make sure that they're aware of that information. Make sure they're not collecting counts on the slow side,
Right. Okay.
and then also hopefully get an update on whether they're when or how they're planning to go out and look into it again. Because like I said, I think the last thing they left it off was that they were going to conduct an additional field review, I think is how they phrased that.
Yeah, I'm looking at an email right now. Edith Wong was involved in it. Megan Aritesh was involved in it. Marilyn Farmer from citruscountyschools.org.
Yeah.
I can forward this chain of emails to you, Eric, if you'd like.
Sure. Yeah, I think I may have been copied on it, but even if so, it's probably buried in my inbox somewhere. So that would be appreciated.
All right, I'm sending it to you right now.
So, thank you, Bob.
You're welcome. Thank you for your help. There, you should have it.
Yeah, it always takes us a minute to gotta scan it, make sure there's nothing nasty in there, make sure you're not sending me a virus.
Well, that's what I try to do on a daily basis. Make people jump through hoops. It's fun, right?
There you go.
There we go. I got it.
I don't see where that would be too much of a problem. They have one at 486 and Hernando Elementary School. Traffic out there is a very similar situation.
Well, I mean, it seems like it would be just that easy, but there are requirements of how many traffic signals they can have within a certain number of miles also a lot of times.
That's right. I understand all that.
Right.
All right. All right, next item. On long-term list, Good Neighbor Trail. Haven't been down that way in a while. I know Duke Energy's rebuilt some of the area that they've mashed up and broken the asphalt and so forth. And I'm not sure when the rest of that's going to be redone. Ernie's not here, I guess, to fill us in on that. We can move along. Powell Road at the Suncoast Trail Crossing. Was no update on that. I think Sergeant Andrews was going to look at that or let us know something this meeting. Is that true?
No, that was Ernie. I think
Ernie?
I'm done with that one.
Okay. So we'll have no update on that one at this time. Number 3, Mariner Boulevard, North Cliff. Skip line.
That hasn't been done the last time I was through there, and I think Ernie said it was on the list somewhere, but I don't really know where.
Yeah, that's what he said at our August meeting. No telling when. It's on a list to get done, but it hasn't gotten done yet, apparently. So All right. Well, let's move on to number 4, Main Street and Highland Boulevard. Laura, do you have anything to say about that?
I mean, they haven't done anything with the lights. They're still functioning in the same pattern, but it
Right.
hasn't created that much chaos so far this school year. So I think we just leave it there and monitor it another month and maybe remove it on the next meeting.
Okay. Yeah, I know they did do some adjustments down there, I believe, and it looked like
Well,
last.
that might
Last
be the
couple-
reason that nobody's complaining anymore. So
Yeah, last couple of times I was down there and went through that intersection going left on 44 or going straight through, it seemed like it flowed really well. And a lot of cars was able to make it through the light. So looks like it may be all right. All right. Yeah, we'll take a look at it and then remove it at next meeting. All right, Melissa, anything else? Oh, nothing. That's all of our problem list. All right. I guess Laura will catch you later.
thank you guys, everybody. I'll see you next month on it.
All right, thank you. All right, now we go into some calendar updates and activity reports. I would like to tell everybody that the WST, the Withlacoochee State Trail rehab project is completed on the south end with one exception. They discovered a major sinkhole about 6 feet deep and 7 or 8 feet wide after the construction was done. So it may have been a issue in the underground somewhere. But I don't know what the status of fixing that is. It's going to get fixed though. Then the north end that we've done is almost done. I think they're into phase 4 now. So it should be done, wrapped up by the end of this month for sure. Had some delays with the storms and so forth, but they're back on track with it. That's all that I have for activity reports. Anybody else have anything to bring up?
I have a couple of quick things that I can mention.
All right.
You all should have received an email about this. I think we sent out an email blast, but the Sun Trail program is open for funding applications. So that's specifically on like the Florida Greenways Trail Network. If you've got projects for trail improvements or trail connections, there's a potential that funding could be available there. Like I said, I sent out an email which had some more detailed information. So if you can think of anything that might apply to, take a look at that. That funding ends in December sometime. I don't recall the exact date. Next week, primarily, is going to be the Great American Teach-In. So I know we have lots of folks in our district office and other partners that'll be participating in that. Gives you an opportunity to go out to a school in your area and provide some education to the kids, talk a little bit about traffic safety or whatever you fancy, I guess. But it's super, super easy to get involved. Usually you just have to email a school and ask if they have an available class, and they almost always do. So we encourage everyone to participate that. If you are planning on participating, let us know. We might be able to help provide you with like some paper materials or something to hand out to the kids. And again, I think that is next week. It's different depending on what school district is, but I also just wanted to quickly shout out the next round of HSP funding, that grant money. We got over $4 million to District 7 this year, and specifically for Citrus and Hernando, $329,000, which was $247,000 going to Citrus Sheriff's Office and $82,000 going to Hernando Citrus Office. So we're glad to see a nice chunk of that money coming to District 7 and specifically to Hernando Citrus. So too bad. I think Laura might have hopped off already, but I think that is all that I have for activity reports. So I'll cede back.
Okay, thank you, sir. Anybody else? Bob, can you relate to the Sun Trail funding? I know you were working on grants.
We don't really have, I was trying to get either the counties to go after grants. We don't really have the capability of doing that as an MPO.
Right.
And
Okay.
The counties are so busy right now with storm cleanup, they just don't have the bandwidth.
Okay. Yeah, I've been wanting to call you, but I've been busy as heck and out of town and all that stuff. So
Right.
I'll talk to you about that later. All right. Thank you. Anybody else have any information on calendar updates or activities?
Hey Jim, it's Brenton. I don't have a whole
Yes,
lot, but we did have our midpoint enhanced law enforcement engagement meetings yesterday with all the participating agencies. They were all pretty good, doing really great on their enforcement details. And then, of course, back-to-back storms slowed them down, but they've been getting back into it. And also, they completed a train the trainer for their new program called Impact Teen Education. So a few of them were selected to be trainers, and then they'll go and train the other, people in their agencies, and then they'll be able to use that program to go into the schools and teach some traffic safety. And again, that's going to be, hopefully they'll get in this year, but if not, they're definitely targeting for some spring 2025 education, depending on the school's availabilities for the makeup days and such.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Anybody else have anything?
Hey, Jim, it's Jim Reiser.
Yes, Jim.
Yeah, Jim Reiser, law enforcement liaison. So getting ready to do a Thanksgiving holiday enforcement initiative on the national. So agencies with DUI units are going to ramp up their DUI enforcement over the Thanksgiving holiday. And then building on what Brenton said from the E-Lead program, there's going to probably be a US 19 enforcement operation again on the 18th. They're putting together the operations plan now that'll again run from Citrus County line down to St. Pete. Try and get this operation in before the holidays and all the units are allocated to other duties. So other than that, the grants that were awarded the Hernando County Sheriff's Office and Citrus County Sheriff's Office, that money was allocated by the State Safety Office. And they've already been sent advisories to apply for the fiscal year 26 cycle. So it looks like hopefully they'll be applying again. So we'll be well funded for the next couple of years. That's all I have. I can feed back.
Fine. Thank you very much. That's good news. Anybody else have anything, that calendars or activities?
I can give you a couple of updates from the NPO side of things. I met County Commissioner Rebecca Bay, Citrus County Commissioner, and I went up to Tallahassee to meet with former State Secretary Anant Prasad, who now runs Florida Transportation Road Builders. Not stepping on FDOT's toes, but I reached out to him about 18 months ago just to try to figure out how to bring more construction money into this area. And he told me last session there wouldn't be much money, but this session they think there's going to be what they call rural arterial money. And so, we met with him, and what I'm trying to do is figure out a way to get more funding for US 41 in Citrus County because we're still 130 million short. I'm not saying I'm going to get it, but the old adage, if you don't ask, you don't get.
Right.
And so Rebecca Mays and I also went down and met with State Senator Ed Hooper a couple of weeks ago, and we're trying to get some meetings with Senate President Ben Albritton, who was supposed to speak at the Citrus County Chamber meeting a while back, but hurricanes decided to postpone some meetings. So we're just trying to take every angle we can get to bring more money our way. And another little thing I did a radio interview on WWJB interview last week. Wish I had done it sooner because the 1 cent sales tax, unfortunately, in Hernando County didn't pass. But they've asked me to come back on and explain what the benefit would be because I know it'll be back on in 2 years. I'm sure they'll put it back on their when we have elections again. So just little things like that. We're a small MPO, we get limited money, and I'm just trying to figure out how to bring more of it our way. County Line Road down here in Hernando County has been on topic of discussion for 30 years. And former Pasco County or Pasco MPO Executive Director Carl McKiska, who's no longer there, he and I started literally shortly after I started here, just trying to drum up support to get County Line Road moving again. And, you know, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but FDOT seems to have a way where we think, not saying they are, may help fund 50% of that, which would be huge. We'll know more in about 30 to 45 days, but I received a phone call from Brian Hunter a couple weeks ago just to get it on Hernando County Administrator Jeff Rogers and Scott Herring's radar that they would need to come up with about $5 or $6 million, as would Pasco. But again, that will be huge if we can get that ball rolling.
Mhm.
So those are just things that I'm trying to bring. I know trails are hugely important. But, you know, with Coochie State Trail was taking all of our funding for the rehabilitation, you know, or I'm going to have to be honest with you. I know like Jeff Kennard wants a trail that would have to go through a lot of water area. And it's just, I'm going to have to put a bug in his ear and go, Jeff, it's not going to happen. It's a $50 million ask. You know, coming out of, I think, the Crystal River area. Jim, do you know what I'm talking about? I can't think of it off the top.
Is he trying to renovate or reinvigorate the Ford Island Trail?
Yes.
Oh
And
man, that's a dead thing. That's a dead done. That's waste of
well,
money.
you know, somebody like you, if you ever reach out to him, and I'm going to at some point tell him the same thing. I mean, hell, the storms would have destroyed a good portion of that probably.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So, you know, $50 million on a Ford Island Trail, to me, you know, as a bike ped people, I would be telling them, you just need to,
Right.
I have to be politically correct. He is one of my bosses, but I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's a waste of.
I've got a complete folder on it, read the entire report, and it's a waste of money. Major waste of money.
Absolutely. So, you know, those are the things that, you know, what I'm trying to go after is, you know, construction money type of stuff, you know, for capacity improvements or intersection improvements is what I'm trying to bring to the table.
Yeah, that's much more beneficial use to the community than that trail is.
Right, right. Did ride my bike on Saturday though, Jim. I didn't see you on the trail, man.
I was in Texas.
Well, that's no excuse.
Yeah, couldn't find me.
Yeah, I would have had to ride a long way.
That's right. Yeah, I didn't get to ride when I was out there either, so I get too busy with family.
Well, that's about it from our end.
All right. Well, good. Thank you, Bob.
You're welcome.
Any other updates or activities? Hearing none. Ms. Shepherd, would you do the fatal crash report? Thank you.
Yes. And I have Lori's notes as well. All right, so for Citrus County, from January 1st to August 23rd, there have been 20 fatal crashes. Since we didn't have a meeting last month due to the hurricane, the previous map we discussed was from January 1st to May 25th, and there were 13 fatal crashes. The 7 new fatal crashes include 2 pedestrians, 2 head-ons, 1 other, and 2 off-road fatal crashes. For the 2 new pedestrian fatal crashes, one was June 3rd at 6:09 a.m., report number 262-84240. This was State Road 44 and South Shad Terrace at the T intersection in dawn, clear and dry conditions. Vehicle 1 was traveling west in the left lane on State Road 44, approaching the intersection of South Shad Terrace. Non-motorist 1 was walking in the northerly direction from the southern shoulder of State Road 44 at said intersection. Non-motorist 1 walked into the westbound travel lanes of State Road 44 and into the direct path of Vehicle 1. This caused the front right of Vehicle 1 to collide with the right side of the non-motorist 1. The Other item was June 15th, 11:57 PM, report number 263-64420, West Homosassa Trail and South Lantana Way, not at the intersection in dark, not lighted, clear and dry conditions. Vehicle 1 was traveling east on County Road 490, approaching South Lantana Way. Non-motorist 1 was walking his electric bike southeast on County Road 490 in the eastbound lane, approaching South Lantana Way, directly ahead of Vehicle 1. As a result, the front right of Vehicle 1 collided with non-motorist 1 and his electric bike. There are currently 20 fatal crashes through August 23rd. Same time period in 2023, there were 16 fatal crashes. So Citrus County is up by 4 fatal crashes in the same time period. Then for Hernando, so January 1st to August 23rd, there have been 22 fatal crashes. Since we didn't have a meeting last month due to the hurricane, the previous map we discussed was from January 1st to May 25th. There were 12 fatal crashes. The 10 new fatal crashes include 1 bicycle, 1 other, 1 head-on, 2 rollovers, 2 pedestrians, 2 right angles, and 1 left turn. For the bicycle fatal crash, which was on June 8th at 4:32 a.m., report number 263-65413, Ridge Manor Boulevard and Tall Pines Drive, not at the intersection in dark, not lighted, clear and dry conditions. Vehicle 1 was northbound on Tall Pines Drive, approaching a stop sign at the intersection of Ridge Manor Boulevard. Non-motorist 1 was traveling west on the sidewalk that runs parallel with Ridge Manor Boulevard. Vehicle 1 failed to stop at the stop sign. The front right of Vehicle 1 struck non-motorist 1 as he was attempting to cross Tall Pines Drive. As a result, non-motorist was thrown from his bicycle. For the 2 pedestrian fatal crashes, one was July 8th at 12:50 p.m. Report number 263-70371. This was at US 19 southbound and All Good Road, not at the intersection in day, cloudy, and dry conditions. Vehicle 1 was traveling south on US 19 in the outside lane. Non-motorist 1 was crossing the roadway from west to east, carrying groceries from the 7-Eleven convenience store located at 1285 Commercial Way when she entered the roadway from the northwest corner. The front of the vehicle 1 collided with non-motorist 1. Then the second pedestrian fatal was August 21st at 11:55 a.m. Report number 263-28166. And this was 7480 Delaware Drive and Delaware Drive, not at the intersection in clear day and dry conditions. Vehicle 1 was backing in the yard of 7480 Delaware Drive. Non-motorist 1 was standing behind the vehicle 1 in the yard of Delaware Drive. While Vehicle 1 was backing in the yard of 7742 Delaware Drive, Driver 1 failed to ensure the safe and prudent distance was maintained to the person behind. As a result, Vehicle 1 collided into the non-motorist 1. So there are 22 fatal crashes through August 23rd of 2024. Same time period in 2023, there were 23 fatal crashes. Hernando County is down by 1 fatal crash in the same time period.
Good. Well, they're making progress in the right way. All right, thank you very much.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep, sure thing.
Go ahead. Someone was getting ready to comment. Okay. All right. Thank you. Next is the safe routes to school update. I have no information on that other than eventually Citrus County is going to get started with their project, but it may be 26 before they do that. Hearing no other ones. HSIP, I think Eric, you addressed a bit of that. Do you have anything additional to add?
We did just get a new application in from Hernando County. So we will be looking at that one in addition to the other ones that have been submitted for the area.
Okay.
This time it was
Good.
for Bright Sticks, I believe. Yeah, Bright Sticks.
Good. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Anybody else have anything about that? Hearing none, let's move to new business. Any requests for problem areas? Laura said there's nothing that she's aware of here in Citrus County. Perhaps Jeff has anything in Hernando County?
Was that for new areas?
Yes.
No, I don't have anything that's sticking out on my list right now to put on there.
All right. I've been hearing some things up in Citrus County with the traffic light trying to get out of the new shopping center there on 491 and 486, but some people don't want to drive down to where there isn't access to get out. It's less convenient to them. So I'm not sure and I'm not sure, like Bob said, there's a certain distance between traffic lights, and they're not going to get one where they want one because the distance is too close. So might as well quit complaining about it. But you get some people that aren't convenienced enough to want something else. All right. Anybody else have anything for new business and some new problem areas? Anybody's heard about? All right. Good. That sounds like we're doing the right thing. Appreciate it. Open forum and announcements. Anybody have anything there? I don't have anything to add.
Hey, Jim.
Yes.
This is MF. One
Yes.
thing I do want to mention is we were looking at our safety performance metrics here in the district by county, and what we're seeing overall in District 7 is, we're seeing lower numbers in terms of fatalities and serious injuries, especially in Hillsborough and it's Hillsborough and Pinellas, but we're seeing Citrus, Hernando, Pasco numbers going up in comparison to previous years. And I want to see if there is one of the strategies that we're looking at, see how we can, tackle some of the, prevent any future or reduce any future instances. Is probably some public awareness, some outreach. It's kind of what we're thinking. And I wanted to just put it out there if there is any events or any ideas for any outreach opportunities that we could partner with in a couple months, the next couple months, or in the future, let us know. We're gonna be looking for some events in the areas of Citrus and Hernando that we can tag along and partner and raise awareness of laws and rules of the road, especially on the with these holidays coming up, our numbers tend to go up. So we want to do the most we can to see if we can continue targeting the goal of 0. So just want to put that out there for the team.
You look interested in different community functions that are going on that you might be you would fit into?
Yeah. Could be pet buy, could be just overall driver behavior. And I think I think Anthony's presentation is going to touch a little bit more on that, on some of those areas of opportunities that we can partner, especially for education.
All right, good. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Are there any other things? Okay, hearing none, then we have a presentation from Anthony Chamont from JMT about FDOT Highway Matrix. Anthony, it's your turn.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Yep, I've got a presentation that goes over all of the items in the tool that MF talked about. It's the Highway Safety Matrices. It's a tool that compares all of the emphasis areas from the Florida Strategic Highway Safety Plan. I'll try to tailor it as much as I can to the items that are pertinent to this group, just as Citrus and Hernando, but know that the presentation is kind of, it was built for the entire district, so it shows all the counties and all the cities, but I'll highlight the areas along the way that are pertinent to this group, skipping over some of the items that are not. You're able to see my screen, right? The purple presentation? Okay, just double checking there. So, I mean, the purpose of this, again, it's to provide high level analysis that anybody can use. These are just basically spreadsheets that are available to download from the website. If you Google FDOT safety matrix, it comes up out of the central office safety page. I'll have the link at the end of the presentation. Things are divided by cities and things are divided by counties along the way by their population. This is put together using the Signal 4 crash data and the population data from the UF economic business research. So there's some pluses and minuses to the data, some inaccuracies with the cities, and it's not 100% because it's based on the police reporting and the location. So just know that these numbers, year to year, there's plus or minuses to the data, with the data quality, but it's the best that they can do with the data that we have. Those crashes are subject to error depending on where the investigator puts it in there. If you're not aware, the strategic highway safety emphasis areas are listed here. These are, from the safety plan, they're lane departure, intersections, pedestrians and bicyclists, aging road users, motorcycles and motor scooters, commercial motor vehicles, teen drivers, impaired driving, occupant protection, speeding and aggressive driving, distracted driving, and then there's some evolving emphasis areas that are work zone, drowsy and ill driving, rail crossing, transit, micromobility, and connected vehicles. Not all of those are included in this matrix. The work zone area is included for the evolving emphasis areas, and the commercial motor vehicles as for the roadway users is split out of that. But these are the areas that generally represent the groupings kind of statistically of where we have the most fatal and severe injury crashes, which is what we're trying to eliminate. So a quick overview of the data, kind of how it looked like. This presentation is a comparative presentation of the 2024 to the new 2025 data that's available so that we can quickly see the differences between them. Group 1 is populations greater than 200,000. So that's the 3 counties to the south. The counties here fall into Group 2, populations between 50,000 and 200,000. We see there Citrus and Hernando counties. The pink highlight means that those categories fall in the highest 35% for those crashes for within the category. So Citrus and Hernando County have the distinction in 2024 of having all of the emphasis areas be in the highest 35%. So a lot of room for improvement. 9 of the emphasis areas, Citrus for one and Hernando for the rest of them, are the highest in the particular category. What those numbers represent is when the crashes are sorted and analyzed. Hernando County, for example, is the county that has the most crashes for aging road users, that's drivers that are over 65, for all the counties in the state of Florida that have populations between 50 and 200,000. There's 15 counties that fall into that category. So Hernando County has a lot of room for improvement with that. Comparatively, the 2025 data, and I'll have a sheet here that compares both. Citrus got a little bit better on the speeding and aggressive driving, so not all the areas are highlighted in pink, but we still have a lot of 1s, we still have a lot of 2s. So these areas, there's a lot of opportunity for improvement here. 6 of the 9 emphasis areas were ranked very high. And again, both counties kind of improved a little for the speeding and aggressive. The comparative analysis, if we look down at the bottom here, the Group 2 population 50 to 100 to 200,000, we see that Hernando County for aging road users was number 1 in 2024, remains number 1 in 2025, was number 3 for distracted driving, remains number 3. Impaired driving, it was number 3, and it has bumped up to number 1. So the higher the number, the worse. That means that there's the most crashes associated in that category. So we can see across the board, I'm not going to read all the numbers, but there was a worsening in Hernando County for impaired driving, for occupant protection. The crowd, it reduced from being the first county for speeding and aggressive driving. It is now the third county. Citrus County improved in the areas of occupant protection from rank number 3 to rank number 5, speeding and aggressive driving from rank number 3 to rank number 7. And teen drivers, it got worse. It went from rank number 3 to rank number 2. The overall spreadsheet kind of looks like this. It's this kind of giant thing. This is the thing that you can download from there. We pared it down and looked at some of the items in here. Again, this is just the group 1. So I can skip over these slides because we're more interested in group 2. But again, this shows Citrus and Hernando kind of compared to the other 15 counties. They are number 1 and number 2 for all of those, with a lot of reds and oranges across the board. They both showed. Hernando showed a slight improvement in the overall average of, I'm sorry, a decline from 2.1 to 1.9 as the average ranking. And Citrus County went from 2.4 to 3.0 on the overall ranking. This breaks it down and looks at cities also. It kind of, drills down a little bit at looking at the areas. Again, this is the Florida Group Tier 1. None of the Citrus and Hernando counties show up in this area in this particular slide, but just to know that those are there and it breaks it down. You can see how Tampa and St. Pete, they've got pink across the board. So we're not picking on Hernando and Citrus with this presentation. There's other areas in the district that definitely need improvement. Looking at those areas, they do improve in quite a few areas, even though they're pink across the board for those areas. The slides that do include some of the areas for Citrus and Hernando. So the cities are divided into 3 categories. Category 1, what we just saw. This is category 2. Again, none of the cities in our 2 counties are in these areas. So I'll go quickly through these slides. And we get to the areas where it includes some of the cities. Brooksville is in there. It's number 5. I've got the number written on one of the other slides. For Brooksville does have areas across the board that are ranked in the top 35% for every emphasis area. So lots of room for improvement there. There's a couple of cities that are also included in our counties that are kind of hidden in there. I highlight them in the other slide, but the comparison to the 2025, Brooksville remains pink across the board. The cities that are included from our counties, we've got Brooksville up there, we've got Crystal River, and we have Inverness. I know that these numbers are impossibly small to read, but you can download the slides and get them in there. So within its area, Brooksville is ranked number 2 for counties, for cities with population 3,000 to 15,000. Inverness is ranked number 11 overall for cities of similar sizes, and Crystal River is ranked number 20. Those are the only 3 cities that I was able to find in the 2 counties. I'm not sure why Weeki Wachee, Homosassa, Flores City are not included in this spreadsheet that comes out of central office. So kind of breaking those down again, looking at just Brooksville, which is the one that shows up on here. The average was 9.2. So getting back to the things that Emmett was saying with those crashes increasing, the average now is 5.1. Again, a lower number means a higher ranking, which means more crashes. Brooksville being number 1 for motorcycles out of all the cities, out of 118 cities in the state of Florida. So lots of room for improvement for the motorcycle crashes. The comparative analysis, looking at those, Brooksville in 2024, the top line across the slides, was number 4, is now number 2. Was number 8, is now number 4 for distracted driving. Was number 7, is now number 3 for impaired. Was number 3 for motorcycles, is now number 1. Was number 14 for occupant protection, is now number 3. Was number 12 for pet and bike, is now number 10. Was number 24, is now number 12. And teen driver and work zones remain the same. So the pink across the other kind of increases is why the average went from 9.2 to that 5.1. So again, I mean, this is the strategic highway safety emphasis areas. This is available from the webpage. It's just a very high level analysis that lets us know at a high level when we're thinking about the types of projects that we want to do in the county, the types of projects that we want to do in the cities, the emphasis areas. It lets us prioritize, at the macro level, not looking at the specifics. This doesn't tell you the individual hotspot, but it lets us know at a very high level the locations that, the emphasis areas that we should be concentrating on. The way to find this, if you're interested in seeing it and diving into those tiny little numbers that you couldn't read on the screen, it's right off of the central office safety page. The link is across the top. I circle down there the county matrix, and then you see the city group 1, 2, and 3 matrices. So it's 4 different spreadsheets that you can download. The easiest way to find it, again, is just to Google FDOT safety matrix, and it takes you to that link, and the information is available, free to the public for everyone to see and digest. That is all that I have on the safety matrix. Anybody have any questions, comments?
Yeah, I do. This came up when we were applying for the speed and aggressive driving grant this year. My command staff saw the matrix and they had a lot of questions regarding the population, like you said in the beginning. So we're well over 200,000 now, which should bump us into the other group. And I don't know if that would help our numbers out or not. Obviously, we have more drivers on the road now, so we're going to have more crashes and things like that, inevitably.
Yeah, again, I mean, the population data comes out of whenever it was that UF got the numbers. So they're the ones that are kind of pulling those numbers together for the populations. So as those are updated, as census changes, these spreadsheets will change. The actual numbers of crashes, of course, I mean, the rates won't be affected, but you get moved into another category. So depending on where that category falls, then you'll be higher or lower in the ranking for those. But yeah, I'm curious to see if you were put into the kind of larger group, into that tier 2, where the rankings would be. If you're looking for funding and you're looking to like do it now while you're still in the tier with the lower cities, and you're ranked higher, because a higher rank means a higher possibility of kind of qualifying for funds. So you want to do it now while you're still ranked higher. It would be strike while the iron is hot, I guess.
Right.
This is Jim Reiser, law enforcement liaison. I can speak about these matrices a little bit. I worked a lot of it before I retired from Tampa Police Department. So, Jeff, to your question, could it affect your funding? Yeah, it could positively affect it. It depends on where your new crash data is going to fall in line with the population centers you're going to be up against with now. The 26 matrix should be out very, very shortly to allow the agencies to apply for funding under the FDOT safety grant program. Just building on that, when a law enforcement agency asks for funding for an emphasis area, whether it be distracted driving, DUI enforcement, speed and aggressive driving that were outlined in the presentation, what's going to happen is that matrix is relied upon heavily to determine whether or not the county is going to qualify for funding. If for some reason you get bumped into a different population center and your numbers go down and you're not in the top 35%, still apply for funding and just justify it in your grant applications of why you still feel you need that funding, and go into the explanations like you need, we're still a growing county. We have more population coming in, and there's ways to justify that. It's not an automatic turn down. So definitely going forward, keep up the grant applications, and just reach out to me if you need any help with that. I can reach out to the state safety office and make sure we're crafting the proper language for that. Because as of right now, depending on what happens on a lot of funding levels going out of DC for NHTSA, right now I think there's plenty of money to go around, especially for law enforcement, to concentrate on those emphasis areas. But I'll be curious to see where Hernando lands in the new matrix when it comes out shortly. And that was an excellent presentation on that. I've never seen that done, and I've been in this traffic safety area on the Tampa area for about 10 years. I've never seen it explained that way. So it gives everybody a good idea how that works.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, good comments, and especially, I mean, even if the city gets put into a different category as now competing kind of, in a different weight class. Citrus and Hernando County shouldn't be moved into the larger category, and they are number 1 and number 2 for almost all the categories with, 35%. It was pink across all the categories. So you guys are pretty well suited for applying for those grants and having them, having the justification. So definitely don't be discouraged if the individual city gets put into one of the other categories, because the county is still 1 and 2 for the entire state.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you everybody for your time. I'll stop sharing my
Anthony.
screen and
Yeah, Anthony, you did a great job. I hadn't heard no more questions. That's good.
thank you.
All right. Right. Let's see what we got left here. And is there anything else that we need to discuss at this time? Any announcements going on? Any special events? Oh, hearing none. I guess what we'll do then is next meeting will be December 11th, 1:30. That will be a virtual meeting again. That's down here at the bottom. Yep. And we certainly thank you all for your participation today. And happy Thanksgiving to everybody. So,
Thank
Thank
you.
you, you
anything
too.
else?
Yep. Thanks,
Thanks,
everybody.
you.
We will adjourn the meeting.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Melissa, for your help today.
All right. Good seeing
Bye.
everybody.
Take care, y'all.
Bye now.
Bye.